Phillies are the world champions. It's happening here in the stands. Mike Schmidt is the most valuable player, and now in the clubhouse of the world champion Philadelphia Phillies, we have Brian Gumbel. Brian?
Okay, Joe, I don't know what it's like outside, but it's bedlam inside. Larry Bowa, 9 hits in the series, a hit in at least every game, record-setting number of double plays. This has got to feel wonderful.
Oh, man, I can't tell you how good I feel right now, Brian. Everybody said we couldn't win. They said, no, the Phillies aren't good enough. They don't have heart. They don't have character. We have all of the above, believe me. We want to win more than anybody. Tug's scared us. Kansas City's got a great baseball team.
Let me get to this man behind you. Dallas Green.
I see you, Peter.
Pete Rose. Now, you've been through this before. Don't you ever get tired of it?
No, you'll never get tired of this, Brian. We've been through a lot of adversity this year. We won the big ones. We've been coming back for the last 8 weeks, and we beat a good team in Montreal, and then we beat a good team in Houston, and we beat a good team in Kansas City.
I've got to think that foul ball that you caught at the end typified the Phillies season. Hanging on the edge, getting things when it seemed like you wouldn't.
Well, things were bouncing our way the last couple months, and that was a perfect example of it. I knew Booney had it all the way, and he was calling it, just come out there, and I just nothing else to do, but I just go over there and try to back him up a little bit.
Did a wonderful job. Let me see if I can get to Dallas. Dallas, it has been a season of confrontation, a season of some displays that you would sooner forget, I'm sure, a season of tension for you. The moment is worth it.
Yeah, it is, Brian. We're world champions. There's a lot of people in baseball didn't think we could be. I knew in my heart we could be. I think in September, from then on, our ball players knew we could be. Paul Ons knew we could be, and he's the guy that directed this thing all the way. I'm proud of everybody on our baseball team.
Why did this Philly team win it when others did not? Why this one?
They had heart, and I use the term character. Character is a hard thing to explain unless you've been through what we've been through in September in the playoffs and in the World Series, Brian. This team is just an unbelievable baseball team right now. We could beat anybody in the world.
Paul Owens, you have been through the bad times with this team. You have been here when people called it a country club atmosphere that could not win. The man on your right, how much of the credit does he take? I know he wants to give it to his players. How much do you want to give to him?
I want to give a lot of it to him because the man went down and did the job that he knew, that he and I knew that we had to do, and the players responded. And it may took 4 or 5 months to get it across, but he did it, and I'm so damn proud because it probably is the best move I ever made in my whole baseball career.
This may seem like an inappropriate time to ask it. Is he your manager next year?
You're damn right. If he wants it, he's got it.
Dallas, you said the way to get rid of you was to win it all. Do you want to be back here?
I do what Pope tells me to do. We'll see. It's too early to tell.
And that's with love and respect. That isn't without it, because he's got his own mind, and that's why he's down here. And that's why a guy like...
Let me get to 45 for a minute. Tugger, come here for a minute. Did you milk the moment for us? Was that just for our benefit?
I was running out of gas, Brian.
You know, when the playoffs ended, it was said, hey, you pitched in every game, that if somebody touched your left arm, it would fall off. But instead, you pitched in this series. You won 1 game. You saved 2. A lot of time to rest now.
Well, Brian, I just ran out of gas today. I kept getting in trouble. I was missing with pitches, but I just heard everybody yelling and hollering. All the guys were out there screaming and hollering. I saw them police dogs running on the field. I said, reach back and find some extra. That's what this whole team's been reaching back and finding some extra, it seems like, since Moby Dick was a guppy. But, Brian, it just was there when we needed it. I'd like to say hello to my mom and my little brother out in California, my Uncle Henry out there, too, and Aunt Edith.
Tugger, thank you. Let me grab Bob Boone in here. Booney, you came into the game hitting .400. You picked up another hit in this one. You caught solid baseball throughout, despite some nagging pains. Steve had a lot of stuff early on, didn't he?
Steve threw very well, Brian. I thought he got a little tired there at the end, and I had alerted the bench to it. Earlier, and when he struggled at all, you know, Tug's been doing such a great job. I went to Tug right away, and the Royals being very selective naturally in that situation, he was just a little fine and just missing. But once again, he came through, and this club has just done it all year. It's fantastic.
Mooney, congratulations. Thank you much. Let me bring Gary Maddox in here. Gary, you are one of the people. Congratulations.
Thanks,
you were
Brian.
one of those who had your problems with Dallas Green as this year went along. Willing to forgive and forget?
All the way. You know, it's world championship time now, so we're happy about that.
Are you willing to admit now that what he did, he had to do?
Well, in his mind, I'm sure he felt he did what he had to do. You know, sometimes it just you got to make an adjustment. You got to go along with what the manager feels is right, whether you like it or not. You know, after we've been around for a while, we think that maybe we have our own ideas of how things should be done, and the manager's in charge, and you have to accept that.
Would you like to see him return as manager?
Yeah, if we can go back and be world champions again, I don't care who's here.
I must say, before the game, I came up to Gary Maddox, and I said, Gary, how you feel? He said, I'm nervous. You're not nervous now?
No, I'm happy now. Here, I got a drink for you. You gotta have,
I can't. On national TV, I cannot. The booth. Joe, you've got it.
All right, Brian, right here on the field, what a display. The Philly players came out led by Pete Rose and Dallas Green, and you see what's happening. A very emotional scene here. You saw it in the clubhouse, now you see it out here, but on the other side, the Kansas City Royals really not losers. Let's go to Merle Harmon in the Kansas City clubhouse.
All right, Joe, and as you can imagine, it's rather quiet here, but as you said, there can be no loser in a World Series like this, Jim Fry, because you fellas played it right to the hilt. You had a chance to win it in the 8th, you had a chance to win it in the 9th, and no loser in this entire series did not have an opportunity to win in the last inning.
Well, I'm proud of the way the ball club came back in this game. We came back hard in the 8th, and we just couldn't get that base hit in the 8th or 9th. I think that's the whole story of the series. I thought we played as well as they did, but we just couldn't get that one hit or that ball to go in the hole for us. But I want everybody to know that we're as proud as we can be to be Kansas City Royals, because we had one great year.
All right, what about the comeback for next year?
We're going to try. We hope we can be in the World Series and try it again.
All right, Jim, congratulations to you. Now let's go back to Bryant Gumbel.
Okay, Merle Harmon, thank you very much. One of our oldest cities has waited one of the longest times for this moment. They got close to it in 15, got close to it in 50, but a championship has finally come to Philadelphia. Bowie Kuhn, I know you've got some honors to do.
I am delighted to be able to present this trophy representing the World Championship to Willie Carpenter, the skipper here, Dallas Green, to Paul Owen, 3 men who have done a fantastic job to bring the championship to Philadelphia. All baseball is proud of you fellas. Your trophy.
Really, a couple of words on how agonizing the wait for this moment?
Well, Brian, I just hope that this town doesn't have, this franchise has been in existence maybe 96 years, I think I saw in the paper, and I hope to hell they don't have to wait 96 years for another World Championship. It's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me in my life. And this man here and Dallas Green, Paul Owens, Dallas Green, and these ball players and coaches and our whole organization have just done a fantastic job for us.
Did you know that Paul and Dallas already consummated a deal for next year? He's back?
No way. We haven't gotten into that yet. No, but it's just the greatest thing that's ever happened to my family.
Really, thank you very much. Dallas Green, Paul Owens, congratulations. Perhaps fitting that it comes down to Philadelphia after a long season that we had many surprises. For a time, it looked like we would not even have any players to play in this World Series. But when you consider that a team comes and occupies first place for only 16 days, manages to win a championship only after being behind in every game, and comes on and wins no game in the series but this last one by more than 2 runs, maybe the best things in life are worth struggling for. Indeed, in the Philadelphia Phillies case, one has to believe that's true. Joe?
Okay, Brian, thank you very much. You see the celebration here. You heard Jim Fry. And I'll tell you, it was a series that every game, they went to the 9th inning, the 27th out with a chance to win it. The world champion Philadelphia Phillies, 4-1. Tony, you have any thoughts?
Well, I'm going to remember some of the Royals' performances. The Willie Mays Aikens with 4 home runs, a triple, a game-winning RBI. The frustration of Willie Wilson, a great young player who struck out 12 times, but he will be back because he's very young. that is the Royals side, and there's some pluses for them, too. Tom Seaver?
Joe, I don't think that I ever saw the Royals play the kind of baseball that they played against the Yankees. We know that they're an awfully fine club, but for me, it came down to the pitching, which, of course, is my heartland. And it comes down to Quisenberry and McGraw. McGraw simply outpitched the fine reliever from Kansas City, Quisenberry.
Well, the Philadelphia Phillies are the world champions, and all of us at NBC Sports would like to thank some people here in Philadelphia and Kansas City for all the help they gave us. Behind the scenes, Dean Vogelar.
It isn't a Wall Street ticker tape parade. It's not even the return of the Pope. This is the stuff that dreams are made of. Somewhere between 500,000 and 1 million people lining the streets of Philadelphia, from City Hall to JFK Stadium. For what? For what else? The world's champions. Nearly 500,000 people pouring into the streets for the celebration just to get a good spot. The Philly fans started lining up hours before parade time, and when the floats went by, those not in front saw only the backs of the rest of the cheering, jostling crowd. But the whole experience, I guarantee you, was well worth it. Just ask anybody who's 97 years old. World Series championships in Philadelphia don't happen every day. Good evening, everyone. I'm Maury Povich, along with Dick Sheeran. It was indeed quite a celebration. Philadelphia moved into center stage of world attention during the celebration of the Phillies' victory in the World Series. It's all because of those fabulous ball players. Channel 3's Bob Rucker rode with the winners in the parade today.
You showed your love, and you did it with class. In every space available, be it way up high or down below. The sound was thunderous. The crowd was deafening. But the meaning was clear. The world's very best lived right here. You know, during the 1980 season, so many things were said about Philadelphia fans being fickle. Well, one thing's for certain today. We do know how to forgive, forget, and throw a victory celebration. In Philadelphia, I'm Bob Rucker.
They began waiting at 9 a.m., 3 hours early. They knew who they were looking for. Show us Tug McGraw.
Hey!
That wasn't very high. That was, now let's give us a real tug. Okay, how about a Pete Rose? All right. You're going to do Steve Carlton. Go for it, please. You can do Bake McBride. Come on in. Dallas Green. Okay. Okay, a Dallas Green impersonation. Come on in. Show me Larry Boa. Larry Boa? We won! Nobody tell me we get one! We won! And we won the best! We won! We won! We were the best! We were the best! I'm the best shortstop. I have 11 hits. Okay, Larry, what do you think of the fans, pal? They are the best in the world! For Ed Snyder, I'm Dick Standish.
In order to have imitations, you have to have heroes. And Dick and I watched the festivities from JFK Stadium today. 2.5 hours of live coverage we had here on Channel 3.
Indeed, more than 90,000 people poured into JFK. There were thousands more on the outside. They watched the parade wind its way into the big oval, the horseshoe-shaped stadium at the south end of Broad Street. They cheered when Mayor Green and Governor Thornburg congratulated the Phillies, and after that, the big moment came when the players got up and delivered a speech, including Larry Boa, Mike Schmidt, and the rest of them. Now, the big bang of the Broad Street celebration is over, and what a mess it left. But it didn't take long for the streets department to clean it up. Man, I
feel it's a shot in the arm for the city and all the fans.
Most of the cleanup crew seem to be quite good-natured about the monstrous job, despite the fact that the city called in only a few extra workers in overtime, which meant the regular crews did most of the work. Nathaniel Lee, a 30-year Phillies fan, was extra enthused.
There is no business like show business like no business like no.
Finally, it was over. All over but the cheering, as they say, and host Callis ended it all with a word of thanks to the fans of Philadelphia.
Please leave in orderly fashion. Guys,
God bless you. We'll see you in 1981. Thanks a lot.
What a day. Police spokesman Don Fair capped the entire festive occasion by saying Philadelphia conducted itself with class. There were no big problems. And to paraphrase the words of the song, what a swell party it was.
It was an incredible celebration. Great to be there, and there's a lot more to the Phillies story. We'll have it for you in just a moment. Philadelphia waited almost 100 years to hold, started with the final out of the ball game. It was a storybook finish. Bases loaded, 2 out, a full count, and once again, Tug McGraw pulled it out with a series-winning strikeout and a thrill-filled Veterans Stadium. And as the players and fans went wild with excitement, the victory celebration spilled out into the city and throughout the Delaware Valley.
In Ridley Park, Delaware County, it only took a matter of seconds for fans to hit the streets after the World Series win. And they were armed with their allegiance, banners and signs, homemade, but right up there with the best of them.
Is that a sheet?
Yeah.
It's a sheet off of a bed?
Yeah.
Where'd you get it, from the house? Does your mother know?
Yeah.
Where is she?
Right over there.
Ah, come here. Come on, How do you feel about having your sheet up here?
I don't care what they take. As long as we win, that's all I care.
Okay, Phillies World Series. You got it.
And like everywhere that was anywhere that counted, triumphant trumpets blared, guitar strings strummed, and car horns pumped. It was a cross between a victory parade and a wedding, a celebration announcing the common bond of all Phillies fans, a World Series win after a 65-year wait. So why not?
But can you believe in all of this happiness for the Phillies? I found a Kansas City fan hiding in the back. Are you from this area?
Sure I am.
And you're still rooting for Kansas City?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I don't know how to break this to you, but they lost, and I'm glad.
I lost $50 and I'm sad.
Good. Boo for you and your Kansas City fans.
But Phillies fans weren't upset. One could only feel sorry for this poor misguided soul. See you after the Super Bowl. Sheila Allen, Channel 10 News.
Most of the Phillies fans who are down at JFK should be home by now, but let's check in with Walt.
They have hung on all the way to a world championship. The comeback kids have come all the way home. The Phils win the series 4-2. How sweet it is. Now, when Tugger got that final out, celebrations broke out all over the place, but the biggest celebration was right in the clubhouse. And it was extra sweet because nothing had come easy this year. Not the division title, not the pennant, and not the world championship. In that happy Phillies clubhouse, Gary Maddox summed it all up when he talked about the philosophy Dallas Green had preached all year long.
It was just a tremendous team effort. Guys had off years, but we pulled together as a team, and we were able to pull it off. And nobody thought we'd be able to. We just were able to do it.
You know, I didn't have too many blonde hairs left. Now they're all gray. And the thing is, they're starting to fall out. Every game was a 1- or 2-run game. You know, every pitch meant something. There was no time anybody could relax. And
I didn't pitch well. That's all there is to it. But I'm not ashamed of my effort. I'm not ashamed of anything. We had a hell of a year, and we played a hell of a good series, and a damn good team won. And that's all I can say.
I know I had a chance to do it myself 2 days in a row, and I did.
Larry, for a kid who grew up living with baseball all his life, how are you feeling right now?
This is the greatest feeling in the world, to say that we are the best baseball team right now. We won it all.
You got it. Years since that guy there, Connie Mack, had brought home a championship with the A's. This was action with Connie Mack in 1940, as he always managed in the suit, coat, and tie, 10 years after the A's had won their last of 5 world championships in 1930. For so long, Connie Mack was synonymous with Philadelphia baseball. Then came the whiz kids, now the comeback kids in the great history of baseball in the city of brotherly love. So Dallas Green has joined the immortal Connie Mack in the annals of Philadelphia greatness. And when I come back at 6, we'll be back in the clubhouse for more post-game interviews. We'll have highlights of all 6 World Series games, plus a look at World Series past and present as World Series fever continues.
God bless you, young man. So proud. I'm so proud. God almighty.
This is the man that signed me. Al, could you imagine that? What foresight to draft me in the 6th round out of Stafford. And you know what
And
the
he's
first
a third baseman.
he came over to my house. We were going to talk about signing. You know what I had to ask him? I said, Eddie, did you draft me as a pitcher or third baseman? He said, third baseman. I said, I'll sign anything because I didn't want to pitch anymore.
God bless you, Bob. God bless you, young man.
And Mike Schmidt, the most valuable player, talks about the key hits, his home runs. Maddox's 15th inning hit against the Cubs. Remember that? And the dramatic Del Unser pinch hit doubles that really kind of won it for everybody.
Now, you can talk about all the heart and character you want, but if we don't get those hits, we don't have any of that stuff, right? And we got those hits, and now we got all that character and all that heart, and we're the world champions. So those are the keys.
What are the impressions of the Kansas City?
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, here's you got it all. You're like Pete. You remember every base hit you ever got.
Yeah, but you guys would never say that about me, right?
Mike,
I mean, I don't mean to label.
No, we only remember the home run.
Rose tied but did not break Stan the Man's record. The Phillies won, but baseball might have a losing season if there's a strike. First the good news on the diamond, then the 23-page brief from the courtroom. Pick it up here. This is Pete Rose, and this is bottom of the first, and there it is again, in case you missed it the first 3 or 4 times, this solid single out to center field, and that ties the record, 3,630. Needs one more to break it, become third on the all-time hit list. Boom! Jose Cruz solo shot off Carlton, top of the 4th inning, is 11th. The Astros lead 1-0. Then they go up by Matthews with his double here off the fence. Vukovic, who got on base, came around to score, and that put the Phillies on the board. Run was charged to Ryan. He left the game with back spasms and probably a little brain damage, too, as the Phillies were pecking away. Dick Davis up here. Solid single for Richard. Matthews comes in to score, and it's 4-2. Phillies with 2 outs, pecking away. Gary Lee Maddox, boom, goodbye. 3-run shot to left wins the game. Gary Lee's third of the year. Schmitty and Avilas come around 5-4. All 5 runs coming with 2 out. And there it is, strike 3, you're out. Tug McGraw, looked like the World Series. Way to go, Tugger. Carlton gets the win. He's 9-1. McGraw gets the save. And look at that shot, the 2 heroes from tonight. On this.
That was one hell of a game for us to win tonight, especially in front of that big crowd. And, you know, no one Ryan leaving the game 4-0. It's another typical Houston Astro Philadelphia Philly game and run us to the playoffs, I think.
Thank you, Pete Rose, for setting up this comeback. 8th inning. Dick Davis, one of the hits.
From Cleveland after the All-Star game, since Pete didn't want to risk missing a flight because of the air traffic controller strike. He said all he wanted to do was not get lost on the road home, but he still managed a wrong turn at Erie, Pennsylvania. Then he talked about tennis. I mean, the guy has nerves of steel or ice water running through his veins. Records, they say, are made to be broken. This man, Pete Rose, was made to break them. Take a look here. First time at bat, bottom of the 1st inning. Gary Templeton fields the ball, but not cleanly. Error on the shortstop. No, not a hit. And Rose on base, but an error. Bottom of the 3rd, hits it back to the pitcher, Bob Forsch, nice grab, and Rose is retired. Bottom of the 5th inning, watch this one, Rose at bat, line shot, Oberfeld, second sacker comes up with the play, gets him out, and now it all leads up to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Mark Littell, there it goes, line shot, left field, a solid, clean base hit, number 3,631, breaks Stan the Man Musial's all-time National League hit. Pete Rose right there did it tonight. Now, of course, Pete and the Phillies have got to have mixed emotions.